what does it really mean to make God central in our lives? I think this is a question that deserves to be turned around in the mind quite a few times. And I also think that the answers to this question is sort of a work in progress. You don't arrive at a definite answer to it right away. You need to turn it around in your mind, and you need to see how your life is actually playing out in relation to this question. Now, when I started to think consciously about this question, I realized that there was way too much in my life that did not reflect making God central to my life. It was not like I was doing everything terribly wrong. Since I started taking my spiritual path and my walk with God seriously, I've made a lot of important changes in my life, and I've also gotten to know myself in a completely new manner. But I've also been quite good at making excuses for a lot of different behaviors. Some of my favorite excuses are, I need to do this in order to stay true to myself. It's not really so bad, it's just a small indulgence. Or everything is just energy, so it doesn't really matter what we do as long as we don't hurt anyone, or we get to decide our own meaning to the things that we fill our lives with. And there is a little grain of truth in all of this, I think. For example, we do attach a lot of meanings to whatever is present in our lives at the moment. Meaning that is artificial, that is not inherent in whatever it is that we are thinking about. But there is also, and this is becoming more and more clear to me as my journey progresses, a pattern to how the world works that is instilled in the world by God. And we can either choose to align ourselves with that pattern, or we can choose to live our lives in misalignment with it. Now, I am not someone who believes in eternal punishment after we leave this world. But I do believe actions have consequences, and not only actions. I believe thoughts have consequences, and I believe attitudes have consequences, and I believe speech has consequences. And when it comes to thoughts, it's specifically the thoughts that we choose to grab onto, that we choose to feed with more thoughts, that we choose to believe in, that we choose to feed with our emotions. These thoughts will contribute to shaping our character. And as they shape our character, they will also contribute to shaping our lives. And it will not always be clear what thoughts, words, and actions have led to the life situations that we are in today. And that is very important to recognize, because we might think that certain courses of actions, etc., are harmless because they don't seem to lead into any immediate damage at the moment. But then we might sit a few years later and wonder why our lives isn't working and why we are feeling so small and shameful. But to move on now to the topic of this video. It took me 20 plus years of spiritual searching to come to this really rather banal conclusion. That if we want to have the right disposition in life, you could say, we need to consciously make God central to our lives. And as I said, this means to ponder what this question actually means. As I said, I don't believe in a final judgment, but I do believe that there is a meaning to seeking what God actually wants for us, what God actually wants from us, and what God wants us to stay away from. And this also means that we need to, as much as possible, keep God at the back of our minds. Let God constantly be present in whatever we do in our lives. To the best of our ability, act as if God is watching us. Not because of fear of judgment, but because if you think about it, you probably would not want God to see you do certain things, and you would probably want God see you do other things. Not because God is going to judge you, but simply because you love God and you want a good relationship with God. You want to live as God created you to live. So in this it's obvious that we want to do more of what makes us feel closer to God, and we want to do less of what makes God feel further away. Again, rather banal things. But the thing is, we don't get to decide what this is really. But also, it's God, and this is a matter between us and God. It's not a matter with just handing over our will to some external authority that claims to be speaking for God. Because this is what I see a lot, sadly, I think, in Christianity. People have some sort of maybe spiritual epiphany or something like that. And immediately it comes that now you have to make all of these changes no matter what you feel about them. That is not at all what I believe, but I believe that this question deserves to be taken seriously. Again, we cannot just say that, well, I get to decide what is what, I get to decide my own rules. We can do that, but we will come into misalignment with God's purpose for creation. I can honestly say that in my own life, I do a few things that most Christians, at least evangelical Christians, would frown upon. But I am also very much questioning my actions constantly and I try to be somewhat conscious of whether these actions are actually leading me toward God or away from God. So I think that it is important to take the question if our spirituality actually is centered around God seriously. Again, I'm not going to let anyone else decide for me what this means. But think about it. If God created us, if God created this world, and if God actually wants something with us, considering who God is. The Almighty, infinite, immortal, creator of and upholder of absolutely everything, that also exists within everything, and that you and I and everything else are part of, wants something with us, then it might be wise to make that relationship a priority and try to figure out what is what when it comes to this. And this is something I've noticed actually, that the closer I am to God, the more my life feels like a story. The more the things in my life are imbued with meaning. The more I actually feel how life and creation are speaking to me through the events of my life. But the more I forget about this, the more distant I become from God in my mind, in my actions, in how I choose to conduct my spiritual life as well, because you can engage, and I've done this a lot myself, in all kinds of spiritual practices, but lose sight of whether they actually lead me toward God or not. And the more I walk in that direction, the more grey, the more pointless, the more chaotic, and the less coherent my life feels. And there is no denying it. I walked into this trap so many times that I can quite clearly discern the difference now. I can clearly discern the difference of whether I am actually walking with God or not. And I actually would like to say a little something about Jesus in all of this as well. I don't call myself a Christian in the regular sense, but I have made this internal yes to Jesus. Not yes to Jesus and all of these other things like a belief system, or that I have to do specific things unless my conscience actually tells me that I have to do them or that I should abstain from them. No, just this internal yes to Jesus. Not connected with having to necessarily believe certain things about Jesus either. But what I think I can discern for certainty is that whoever Jesus was, whoever Jesus is, God was showing something about himself through Jesus. And that makes all of the other things about Jesus a little more possible and plausible as well, especially if you start to investigate prophecies and what actually speaks for that Jesus actually was resurrected and so on. I'm not going to get into this in detail, and there are an ample amount of Christians that can break this down for you if you want to, so I don't think that I need to make a statement about this now. But there is something I can't deny with Jesus. And there also seems to be, the more I feed into this yes, the more I also get the feeling of being close to God. I'm not about to adopt a belief system because I am for myself, very much wary against making a belief system central to life, and I don't think that this necessarily has to be what Christianity is about either. But yeah, that's a little bit about what I feel about Jesus, and I thought it was something that is worth mentioning in a video that is very much about doing one's best to make God central in one's life and what that actually might mean in practice. And of course, this means to take seriously what is worthy of a child of God. This is about seek harmony with the will of God. And ultimately, it's about living like someone who is made in the image of God. And that is also somewhere where we come back to Jesus here. I want to say this also, that I am very confident that in some ways we are all parts of the mind of God. I've had very definite experiences that I'm not asking anyone to take my word for it, just use your own discernment, see what feels true for you. But the fact that at the fundamental level, we are individual expressions of the mind of God, and I can honestly not make all of this make perfect sense with the idea that we might also need Jesus as some sort of anchor to God, someone to help us and guide us through life. But I think that the more I analyze my own experience, the harder it becomes to avoid this conclusion. This does not mean that there is no salvation outside of Jesus or outside of Christianity. I absolutely believe that there is much of value in all religions. I think all religions have something important to teach us. But I also think that there is something special about Jesus. As I said, I think Jesus came here to show something crucial about who God is. To show something crucial about what it means to live in alignment with God's will totally. To in the end show what is God's purpose for each and every individual on this planet. All other things being equal, basically. Because I think this is the destiny for absolutely every person, no matter what else is true about this reality. And that is where we are going to stop today. As always, sincerely thank you for listening.